Hi guys, the Ugly Sloth here, and today, as promised, we have a new one, a slow one, just like me, a slothful one. We have a genre that is very, very dear to me. Post metal, doom metal, whatever you want to call it. But before anything else, let's dive into the song. I know this synth is pretty nasty. Okay guys, before continuing with the video, I wanted to give you the good news. With the previous video and this one, I sort of launched two songs that I want to be part of an EP that I'm writing, and by the end of the year I would like to release this EP onto the public, and it will be, you know, the EP of the collaborations. In the next few videos I will release all the details, the concept behind this EP, and what it will be all about. So stay tuned, and now let's go back to the video. I love guitar drones, or whatever you want to call it, you know. Those pieces of guitar that repeats themselves over and over again, then harmonized and panned. Then we move into the first riff. It is just making the intro heavier, because, as we all know, in this genre, you have to have a long intro. It is compulsory. Basically, we just have a couple of guitars that reinforce, you know, the structure of the other guitars. And these guitars, stop it for a second, and for these guitars I wanted to go with nothing fancy. I went with amplitude this time because I wanted a bit of a lo-fi guitar sound, you know, just to have it rough, much like, you know, the drums that here feels more natural. And the chain here is pretty basic. We can see that we have a Pro NB, which is the trick just to eliminate the noise that it is produced by the strings while recording, and then amplitude with a pretty basic setup, I think, because we have sort of a tube screamer which acts as a boost because we have no overdrive whatsoever, and a 5150 basically. And then I have a bit of a corrective EQ because I wanted to remove some of the harsh frequencies and the band extremes. And then I went with another EQ just to push a little bit what I subtracted before, but with an analog style EQ. It sounded more musical to me. Don't know if it's a thing or not. And another EQ, I know it doesn't make much sense, but to my ears it did, at least when I started writing these songs. And please, by any means, this song is not mixed, because I still have to produce lots of things, but you know, that's the way it is. And as you heard, the drums, they sound pretty much organic. It's nothing fancy. I just used Stephen Slade drummer with a pretty basic setup, and I wanted to go with older sound. I don't know how to call it, but you know, pretty much is a simple kit with a couple of samples, but the kit in its essence is with a couple of samples on the snare, pretty low tuned, and a very old sounding kick drum. I think it is based on a Led Zeppelin record. I don't know. You know, it's not your standard metal kick, because that's what I wanted for my drum sound. And now let's move into, you know, the verse of the song, which starts with a filtered guitar. And here we change sound for the guitar. Move to a soldano amp. This is just a printed stem of guitars. Basically at the moment I have soldano on both guitars, left and right. But then I wanted to go into the chorus and give it a little bit more melody, and I wanted to make it more interesting. As you can see, there is a bit of a tempo change, and let's see how it sounds. For example, if we stay here, and we can see that tempo is a little bit slower, and then it paces up when we move into the chorus. This is straight Cult of Luna, because I love that band. I wanted to recreate those atmospheres, and as you can hear, the lead guitar has lots of effects. At least has lots of reverb. And when it comes to guitar, once again, it is nothing fancy. It's just the Gojira with, I think, pretty much, at least at this stage, which as I said, is not mixed the song yet, a bit of an EQ, a filter EQ, just to give that radio effect, that boxy effect, to push the lead guitar back into the mix, because I wanted to sound very far from the main guitar, from the listener perspective. And as you can see here, we have tons of delay. One trick that I want to share with you is the synth that I used. I called it tone deaf because I don't know how to call it, but I used it as a sort of a transition between the verse and the chorus, and it sounds like this. Let's see in the context and then in solo to listen to understand what it's doing. As we can hear, it is pretty simple, pretty buried underneath the mix, but just give a little bit of a push to the transition between the two sections. Yeah, on its own sounds like shit, but you know, it helps. So basically, that's just about it. But before stopping the video, I wanted to share with you the other synths that I used in this production. and basically it's just random, I don't know, waveforms, because I know nothing about synths, and with this LFO that drives basically the filter cutoff, because in this instance I'm not using the distortion, and basically this gives sort of a movement to the song, and this one changes the first LFO. It is kind of interesting to see how it moves, but then again, this is something that I came up with just experimenting, because at that time, and still to this day, I know nothing about synths. It's just something fun. And the only difference between these two pads is that this one has no distortion and this one does. You can see that's the same thing, the same waveforms, the same configurations. The only thing that is different is I added a little bit of distortion just to make it cut through a little bit more, because in this section there is also the guitars that come into play, and I wanted to give a bit more push. Okay guys, that's just about it for today, and thank you for watching. And most importantly, if you want to collab on this particular production, if you love the song, if you love the genre, please feel free and let me know what you want to do. As you know, I'm trying to build this community, and let's do it together. Okay? I will be mixing the song once we collaborated. I will be mixing the song, and we will publish it together. Let me know what you think about this production, and until next time, enjoy some metal.